This is lecture 5.1 on ratios in pre-algebra. And basically, a ratio is just a fraction, another way of saying of giving us a fraction. So let's say we've got a ratio of 20 to 35. So that can be called 20 to 35, 20 over 35, 20 divided by 35. But when you're doing it as ratios, it would be 20 to 35. So ratio means that you're comparing a couple things. So if this was the number of girls and this is the number of guys, that means for every 20 girls there were 35 guys. So there were 55 people total, 20 plus 35. So the ratio is 20 to 35, which means 20 for every 35. So that's pretty much all it is written as a fraction. And when you're given something like the ratio 10 to 5, you can reduce it to 2 over 1 or just 2. Okay, so that's pretty much all this section is to kind of get you going on ratios. If you go to example 2, it is asking you to reduce the ratio of 2/3 to 4/9. It says give the ratio 2/3 to 4/9 as a fraction in those terms. So there it is as a complex fraction. Now let's go ahead and write it as a fraction in those terms. Now remember, when you divide by a fraction, you turn it into a multiply and you turn it upside down. That goes away and you have 18 over 12, which reduces to 3 over 2. That's a bad 12 there. Now not only can you write fractions as ratios like that, but you can also write decimals as ratios. So you could write 0.08 to 0.12. And this one, example 3, is asking you to write that as a fraction in lowest terms. Now, a while ago, I showed you that if you're given something like this, if you multiply the whole thing by the place value of your right-hand number, and in this case, all three of our right-hand numbers are hundreds, so if we multiply the whole thing by 100, it moves that decimal over to here on each one of these. It moves it over the number of zeros here, so then it takes away the decimal. Same thing is true when we're doing division here. If we want to get rid of the decimals in this division problem, we just multiply the top by the place value of our last number, which in this case is in the hundreds place, 2 zeros, and the 12 times 100. Now notice these are both 100s. Those have to be the same number. You can't have one be a 10 and one be a 100. So that changes it to 8 over 12, which reduces to 2/3. So if we go to example 4 and applying the concepts, we've got a basketball game. The basketball player makes, in this case, 12 out of 18 shots. Write the ratio of the number of free throws he makes to the number of free throws he attempts as a fraction in lowest terms. So here's how many he made. There's how many he attempted to make. So he attempted 18 and he made 12, which means he missed 6. So if you just reduce 12 over 18, you get 2/3. Example 5 says a solution of alcohol and water contains 15 milliliters of water and 5 milliliters of alcohol. Find the ratio of alcohol to water. Notice, alcohol to water. How much alcohol did we have? Even though it's listed second, it goes on the top because it's how many milliliters of alcohol we have. And water, we had 15. So that's the ratio. And one of the things that you look at here is there's 5 alcohol, there's 15 water, and when they're mixed together, you have 5 plus 15 is 20. 20 milliliters total. 5 of that is alcohol, 15 of that is water. Write each ratio as a fraction and reduce to lowest terms. Okay, so they want to do the ratio of alcohol to water, which we have right here. They want to do the ratio of water to alcohol. So we're going to put the water on top and the alcohol on the bottom on this one. So the first number or the first unit goes on top and the second one goes on the bottom. So alcohol to water, and water to alcohol. So you say the name, you say the two, and then the other name. So alcohol to water, and in this case water to alcohol. And then they want you to do alcohol to the total. Well, there's 5 alcohol, so we're going to put that here, 2, and the total. What is the total amount we have? 20. 5 plus 15. 5 alcohol, 15 water gives us 5 over 20, and then we have to reduce that to 1/4. Okay, and that is it for 5.1 ratio lecture.